Let's get something straight. Women aren't an unsolvable riddle. Once you understand the emotional circuitry behind their choices, the whole mystery falls apart, and that's good news for you. Because sparking a woman's full-blown fascination has surprisingly little to do with designer shoes, a ripped jawline, or endless compliments. It's about knowing what switches flip her subconscious. Stick around, because I'm unpacking 7 high-impact psychological levers that move a woman from casual curiosity to non-stop, can't-get-you-out-of-her-head obsession. We're not talking surface-level crushes or temporary flirtation. We're talking the kind of magnetism that hijacks her thoughts at 2 a.m. No manipulation, no sleazy gimmicks, just science-backed awareness. Fair warning, once you master these levers, your dating life will never look the same. 1. Spotlight. Her intellect, not her looks. Beautiful women are praised for their appearance so often that hearing another "you're gorgeous" registers like background noise. It's elevator music, always playing, never memorable. When you lead with her physical appeal, you instantly blend into the blur of guys propping up her vanity. Instead, aim higher, aim at her mind. The moment she drops a sharp opinion on a book, a savvy business take, or a thoughtful critique of a movie, pause the conversation. Look her dead in the eye and say something like, "I love how you notice details most people skim past. That perspective's rare." You've just affirmed a part of her identity that's starved for recognition. Psychologists call this a value reversal. Rather than acting like you've won the jackpot just by breathing the same air, you frame your interest as something she must earn intellectually. That flips her inner script. She begins chasing the dopamine hit of your approval tied to her wit, not her waistline. And here's the masterstroke. Weeks later, after you've consistently engaged her mind, toss in a casual, "Oh, and for the record, you look incredible tonight." Suddenly, that compliment lands with the force of a mic drop. It's no longer cheap flattery. It's validation from a man she respects. Congratulations, you're living rent-free in her head. 2. Lean back. When she leans, the average guy celebrates an influx of texts or attention by flooding her with even more of himself. Rapid-fire replies, daily good morning memes, marathon phone calls. What happens next? Predictability creeps in, excitement fizzles, and you slide from potential partner to emotional comfort blanket. Instead, treat her sudden surge of interest like a wave. When it rises, you dip under and let it pass. Reply, but on your timetable. Keep plans slightly tentative. Remain warmly present, yet unmistakably busy. This creates emotional tension, a delicious uncertainty that our brains interpret as thrill. Remember, attraction grows in the fertile gap between "I've got him" and "I might lose him." By pacing the connection, never ghosting, just dialing availability down a notch, you ignite her curiosity. She wonders why she can't read you, rereads your last message twice, triple checks if her last emoji felt needy. That rumination equals obsession. Crucially, you must pair detachment with calm confidence. If you seem anxious or punitive, the whole strategy backfires. Think of it as maintaining your center of gravity. You're a man with options, purpose, and friends. You gladly share time but never audition for it. Then, when you do offer an evening of full attention, it's a luxury experience, not a routine service. Scarcity breeds value, value breeds desire. 3. Spark subtle jealousy. Jealousy is a high-voltage wire. Touch it wrong and you both get burned. Handle it artfully, though, and you create one of the rawest emotional accelerants on Earth. The key is subtlety. Don't flaunt a carousel of selfies with models or brag about swiping right all night. That screams insecurity. Instead, cultivate a lifestyle where interesting, attractive people, women included, naturally orbit you. Maybe your co-worker shares a playful inside joke at a team lunch, or an old friend gives you a quick hug at a party. You don't boast. You simply don't hide the fact that women enjoy your company. Social proof is a primal trigger. The female brain evolved to seek partners who are pre-vetted by other females. It's efficient risk management. When she senses other women find you appealing, she subconsciously assigns you greater value. A tiny flicker of competition lights up. Wait, I'm not the only one who sees his worth. That flicker can ignite a full-on blaze of motivation to lock you down. Stay grounded. The moment you intentionally weaponize jealousy, overhyping random DMs, name-dropping conquests, it morphs into toxicity. But when your life already radiates abundance and you remain unbothered by who notices, jealousy becomes a silent wingman, whispering in her ear, secure your spot while you still can. 4. Project the freedom to walk away. Nothing short-circuits attraction like neediness. When a man grasps desperately, he signals he lacks alternatives, and worst of all, self-respect. Flip that narrative. Adopt the mindset that you can exit at any time and still be whole. This is not a threat. It's an internal standard. You cherish your own peace more than temporary validation. If the vibe turns manipulative or the effort lopsided, you will politely excuse yourself and keep building your life. That energy is magnetic because it's rare. Most men quietly panic at the idea of losing a new connection. They tiptoe around disagreements, overshare feelings too soon, or accept inconsistent treatment. By contrast, you remain calm during turbulence. You set boundaries without raised voices. You don't punish her. You simply uphold your criteria for who stays in your orbit. Women instinctively respect that backbone. They also find it impossible to ignore. Their brains ping with questions. What makes him so secure? How do I stay in that inner circle? When you're willing to walk, every yes you offer becomes a gift, not a plea. Paradoxically, that makes her invest more, scheduling dates, initiating calls, showing genuine curiosity about your passions. She's not chasing reassurance. She's chasing the privilege of continuity with a man who respects himself first. 5. Keep her guessing. Controlled unpredictability. Humans crave novelty. The second an experience becomes fully mapped in the brain, the dopamine drops. Apply that neuroscience to dating. If she can predict your every Friday night plan, topic of conversation, and texting cadence, excitement flatlines. Solution: balanced unpredictability. This doesn't mean chaotic mood swings. It means sprinkling in the unexpected. Surprise her with tickets to a late-night jazz set instead of the usual dinner and movie pattern. Text a witty voice note at noon, then radio silence until the next morning because you were hiking off-grid. Share a vulnerable childhood story after 3 playful dates, then pivot to a spontaneous group activity with your friends. These micro-surprises keep her limbic system on its toes. She can't place you in a neat little category, so her mind circles back, trying to decode you. That cognitive loop sustains fascination. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. People remember incomplete narratives more than finished ones. By staying just outside full predictability, you remain the intriguing chapter she has to finish reading. Important caveat: unpredictability must coexist with emotional safety. She should trust that your character, kindness, respect, honesty, is predictable. What changes is the delivery, not the core. Think of yourself as a favorite series. The theme song is familiar, but each episode's plot twist keeps viewers binge-watching. And yes, binge-watching is just another word for obsession. 6. Challenge her instead of agreeing with everything. Most men think that constantly agreeing with a woman is the path to her heart. They nod at everything she says, laugh at every joke, and avoid disagreeing, thinking it'll keep things smooth and drama-free. But here's the truth. Agreeable men are forgettable men. Women don't crave echo chambers. They crave stimulation, mentally and emotionally. And nothing stimulates more than a man who challenges her. Now, this doesn't mean you should be argumentative or combative. The key is respectful disagreement. If she shares an opinion and you genuinely have a different take, don't back down, voice it. Not in a harsh way, but in a confident, grounded manner. Say something like, "I actually see it differently, want to hear why." That subtle move tells her you're not just trying to win her approval, you're bringing your own frame. And here's the psychological trigger. When a woman meets a man who challenges her ideas while still respecting her, it sparks a tension, an energetic push and pull. She starts thinking about your perspective. She replays the conversation. And more importantly, she starts to crave your validation even more. She wants to impress you, earn your agreement, because it's not easily given. Bottom line, don't be afraid to disagree. If you always agree, she'll forget you. But if you challenge her, you become the man who lingers in her mind. 7. Have a mission bigger than her. One of the biggest mistakes guys make when they start liking a woman is making her the center of their world. They cancel plans, pause their goals, and revolve their life around her attention. And while it might seem romantic, it's actually a massive attraction killer. Why? Because women don't fall for men who orbit them. They fall for men who have gravity of their own. You want to know what really makes a woman obsess over you? Having a mission, a vision, a purpose that drives you beyond just dating or relationships. When a woman sees that you're not just focused on her, but on building something meaningful in your life, it makes her lean in harder. Think about it. When you're dialed in on your goals, whether it's business, fitness, creative pursuits, or personal growth, you give off an energy that screams self-worth and direction. That's rare. That's magnetic. She sees a man who's going somewhere, and she wants to be part of that ride. And here's the powerful twist. The less you need her to validate your life, the more she wants to be part of it. A man on a mission naturally creates emotional scarcity. You're not always available, not always texting back instantly, because you're building something. And that absence creates craving, obsession. So remember, your mission is not a distraction from attraction. It's the foundation of it. 8. Speak to her future, not just her present. Most men talk to women about who they are now, what job they have, what they look like, where they live. But obsession, that lives in the future. If you want to stick in a woman's mind long after you're gone, you've got to speak to the woman she wants to become. Why is this so powerful? Because every woman has a secret version of herself in her head. The evolved, more powerful, more successful, more loved version of who she's becoming. When you speak to that woman, when you say things like, "I can see you running your own brand," or "You've got the mindset of someone who's going to change the game," you're not just giving her a compliment, you're becoming the first man who truly sees her potential. That activates a powerful emotional circuit. You're no longer just a guy she met. You're the man who reflects the best parts of her that even she might not fully believe in yet. That makes her curious. That makes her drawn in. She starts connecting you with her dream life. And when a woman sees you as part of her future, even subconsciously, you become irreplaceable. 9. Mirror her energy, then lead. Most guys either go two ways. They overlead and come off pushy, or they passively follow and become boring. The sweet spot? Mirror her energy, then gradually take the lead. That balance creates an irresistible dance of tension and safety. Here's how it works. When you first start interacting, observe her vibe. Is she playful, reserved, analytical? Whatever it is, match that frequency just enough to build comfort. But once that comfort is established, take the lead. That could mean making the first bold move, suggesting something unexpected, or guiding the conversation somewhere deeper. Psychologically, this move hits two emotional triggers: familiarity and unpredictability. She feels safe because you're attuned to her, but excited because you're leading her into experiences she didn't expect. That dynamic is what most women crave: a man who understands them deeply, but still pulls them into his world. When you strike that balance, you build obsession not through force, but through flow. She starts seeing you not just as a man she connects with, but one she wants to follow. And there you have it, my friend, 9 psychological triggers that, when used with intention, can make a woman genuinely obsessed with you. Not through manipulation, not through pretending to be someone you're not, but by stepping fully into your power, your confidence, and your purpose. Now listen, this isn't about tricks or gimmicks. It's about understanding what truly attracts on a deep emotional level. When you show up as a man with standards, a mission, and emotional presence, women don't just notice you, they can't stop thinking about you. So if you found value in this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which point hit hardest for you, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a lot more powerful content coming your way, and I promise you won't want to miss it. Until next time, stay sharp, stay grounded, and as always, be the man she can't forget. Peace.